thank you very much, and sorry for the inconvenience. Presentation was not ready there, but it doesn't matter. So I'm Gabriel Gonzalez. I am Spanish. I live in Paris, I work in Germany, and I sleep in a plane. That's my life, unfortunately. And when I say I was born in Spain, I was born exactly in a shop floor. I was born in a place, in a body shop full of robots. I'm a manufacturing guy. By the way, today it's my 28th year working in manufacturing. And in only 2 different companies. First of all, Renault-Nissan Alliance for 25 years, and then 3 years ago, for ZF. I don't know if any one of you know ZF. Does it tell you something? Okay, for those that maybe do not know it, it's the old TRW here in the United States, merged with the old ZF in Germany, and now with other companies. And even the old ZF company was a mixture and a merger of several German companies working around mechanical and automotive parts. ZF Easy, Zahnradfabrik gears. That's where it all started 108 years ago. And it started by the Lake of Constance, small, let's say, small company, used mainly for World War I. We still have one of our shop floors with a wall full of shots of guns and things like that, dating from that time. And it's important to keep also history of what we've been doing, because now we are in transition, so we need to not to forget what we did before. What are we basically doing? Well, you see some numbers there. It's not a small company, 160,000 people. 38 billion, this year it will be in 22, maybe more than 40 billion. Results are not announced yet. You see also how much we invest for R&D, very important for us, basically driven into e-mobility and automation, autonomous driving. Those are the 2 future chapters that we are attacking right now. And then 1.6 billion also in our plants, transforming as well our processes for manufacturing and so on. Main markets for us, well, you see that Europe, of course, United States and Asia Pacific, and very few in South America, where we have 7 to 8 plants around Brazil and South Africa. And yeah, passenger cars are our main activity, but also we have some commercial vehicles. We have acquired and merged with WAPCO in 2019. And we also have some industry applications around heavy machinery. We used to have also air, marine, we have still marine. So all those things that you can see on screen. Technology domains. Well, we are now as 8 different divisions, merging into 6. We have basically integrated safety, so chassis and active safety on one side, steering and braking, vehicle motion control, and then we have passive safety, so seat belts and steering wheels and so on, inflators. On the other side, what I was mentioning, the automated driving, so we are now launching a new bus, a small bus that is going to be driving autonomously in some German cities where it's been authorized, of course, with e-mobility, because we are a sustainable company. Those 3, the industrial applications, passenger cars, commercial vehicles, and of course the interesting and nice part of the aftermarket, which is always very, very profitable. And finally, one look into what this company is doing for sustainability. You see 25% of all wind power towers are somehow powered by us. We do wind power, we do wind power in Europe, we do wind power here in the United States, and we do wind power also in India, but for all the world there. So this is one of the ways we contribute also to the green transition, not only to the digital transition, but to our green objective of 2040, like most of the companies in Europe, to be green and zero emission. But with these two milestones, or with this milestone of being until 2030, with a reduction of 80% on scope 1 and 2 and 3 for our plans of CO2 reduction, and then as well the 40% reduction of the CO2 in the supply chain. So it's not the same. In the plants, it's maybe a little bit easier to do than in the supply chain because it does not depend completely from us. And our way to do that in the plants, we have several ways. Of course, we are starting to implement and buy green energy, but implement that also as well in our plants with solar, with wind power towers and so on, and as well a very strong energy efficiency program to reduce the consumption. Or energy prices, as you know, in Europe are horrible, so we cannot continue to do that. And as well, because it's absolutely necessary to do more with less. And this is working quite well. Difficult, but quite well. And now with the pressure of not having any gas coming from Russia, well, Germany has accelerated a lot. Almost double the targets that we had for 2022. Yeah, transformation. I say transformation is good, but it's a journey, it's a marathon. And transformation is absolutely necessary. If you continue to do the same things that you did in the past, you will obtain the same results. And we cannot do that anymore. The world is too big, there are too many competitors, and we need to, even if a company like Seref is a tier 1 ranked top 2, top 3, depending on the year, we need to continue and we need to be profitable. And so the first step, as I say here, adopt a new technology. We need to move on. It's not easy if we don't do things with different means. The things that we need to do need to add value to the business. You know, you have to start by changing your processes. You have to start by optimizing your processes. I will say it not in a rude way, but a bad process, even if you digitalize it, will continue to be a bad digitalized process. So first things to do is to have clear processes in a company like ours with different mergers. You can imagine, it's horrible. So heterogeneous that if we don't sit all together, all around, establish the way we want to manage it, it's completely unaffordable. We cannot have skills everywhere, and completely crazy in terms of time. As we say as well, you need to use an agile methodology, but I think agile is not any more a secret for any one of you. You need how it works everywhere. And we need to use it, we will see that later, for the innovative topics. It's not enough just having this methodology of working in a non-hierarchical way. It's not enough, but it helps a lot to go faster. Okay? If you want to go faster, you need to go together. So it's important for us. But I promise it's not cheap and it's not quick or quick enough. This is an important point to be retained in your heads. So if your top management tells you, we need to do that, we need to achieve this very quickly, change in 2 years, no, that's not going to change in 2 years. We've been working now with our strategy for 4 years. We are on our way. We will see that later. But it will take us until the end of the decade, at least for what is concerning digitalization. And a lot of investment. What do we see here is kind of a concept of a smart factory. We are building now the 2 first smart factories. It's not only smart, it's green and smart, because we are doing both transitions at the same time. The first one will be ready by end of 2023 in Serbia, very close to Belgrade, Pančevo. And it will be the first one using this kind of concept. So this is just, a lot of systems working there. You see that we have something called the digital manufacturing platform. This platform is our internet, industrial internet of things that we use for ourselves. It's our cloud. And we decided, at the moment, in 2019, we had several hyperscalers coming to us saying, we can help you to do that, to develop that, or even to sell ours, which is not bad. And you have to sit down with your executives, top management, and say, what do we want as a strategy? Do we want to buy it, which is one of the possibilities? Do we want to be data sovereign and keep it for us, have our own data model? Because we are not married with any of our customers. And if each of our customers decide to have a different model, and it does not fit to the cloud that we have bought, it might be a problem. So we prefer to develop our own, explain it to our customers, we're working here, and now we can create the connectors that we need to exchange data with you, because it's about an end-to-end system. And creating this cloud, where you see all other systems, ERP, PLMs, and so on, are connected to, has some prerequisites. And I start by the prerequisites, please. That's, for me, the crucial part. Why is it the crucial part compared to the others? Benefits. Okay, we are not showing numbers here, but anyway, benefits, it's the same benefits as all other companies for whatever. You need to be profitable. You need to enhance the productivity, as you read there. Increase efficiency. Transparency. We need to start by transparency. Without transparency, you don't have any possibility to go further. But the prerequisites are very clear. In a company like ours, we need to have a common infrastructure. We need to have common systems. When I go to the MES systems, crazy, more than 80. Because not only each company had a different one, but inside of the old companies, each plant was doing what they wanted. They had this possibility to acquire, to buy, to any vendor, whatever they wanted. Now we need to bring that back to 3-4 models of MES. Same for the PLM. PLM, we have 3-4 different models, and we want to bring that to one single. And that's the first point, standardize. That's looking back into what I said before, the processes, optimize processes, standardize processes, and go ahead. Another important topic, IT security, cyber security. Once we are going connected, once we start to connect all of our machines, breaches are everywhere. If you don't have a certain level of protection, then you're dead. And we have seen lately the case of Continental in Germany that had a huge and massive cyber attack, which was not good neither for them, neither for the others, because we had a lot of exchanges with them, and those were revealed or at least known by the hackers. We have, of course, to have our top management convinced that they have to invest at first, and they will not get return on their investment as quick as they would like to. Because we need the foundation, and the foundation is costly. We need to put a lot of money there. And thanks to our, let's say, our companions in this journey, which were Microsoft and PwC, we made it easier. It was good for them, it was good for us, and we created this way of working that has helped us to develop it in a relative short period of time. So, and not want to forget the people. You need skills. You need skills to connect. Connect, it's not that easy because you have all your brownfields, all your machines that are not OPC ready, and so on. You need those skills. You need skills also for people working in the shop floor. They need to change. They're not anymore troubleshooters. They will need to interpret data. and act and take decisions concerning those data. That's part of the transparency topic. So those requisites that we have there, infrastructure, the foundation and investment necessary, the IT security, and the preparation of the people are absolutely necessary to be understood and prepared. And we made some mistakes during this journey. It was not that easy. Some of those we learned only when we started to do it. And of course, benefits, I mentioned them. Be careful. Many of the vendors that will come and many of the people, consultants, and I say it very clearly, are saying to our top management, oh, you will get 20% of reduction of productivity when you are fully digitalized. Yeah, the problem is the when. The problem is they never say by when this will be happening, or what are the real use cases that you need to use. And so you have got your CEO coming to you and saying, I want 8% this year. Oh, problem. Who told you it could be 8%? Usually, you know, in the automotive world, margins are relatively low compared to other industries. I come from this poor company, Renault Nissan, where we had to fight for every single cent. Doing 5-6% was already incredible. Now the best ones are approaching 10%, like Stellantis, some premium companies, of course. But if we want mobility for everyone, if we want to develop this industry, we will need to adapt to this 5-6%. Be realistic. And it's not going to happen the first year, the second year, or the third year, because you have to put the basic investments there, which are already consuming some of the profits that you can make. Continuous improvement or Kaizen. You have to continue. Automation, okay, you have to drive it to low-cost automation, but you have to continue doing that, but it's not enough. You need the digitalization, you need to bring use cases. And why are we using a digital platform? Our purpose is very clear. Purpose is not to reinvent everything every single time. We've got 250 plants around the world. All of them have different use cases. Some of them have similar use cases, but developed in a different way. This is what we want to avoid. We want to have a team that discovers a use case, proposes the use case, let's say, to what the corporate IT and OP, operations performance team, are able to analyze, and then we say, okay, now we develop that for all of you. We put that in this cloud, and whoever needs it goes there, download it, customize it for the plant, and use it. This is what we've been doing with condition monitoring, factory cockpit, and things like that. Easy to understand. We don't have the skills everywhere, so we are not going, because we cannot afford it, hire people in each of the single 250 plants to do that. And we don't want to repeat, because we need to go fast. So usually every year we do a couple of marketplaces where a certain number of plants say, hey, we have use cases, nice use cases to show to you. Of course, digitalization can go on without a platform, but with that inconvenience of putting much more money or the risk of forgetting some plants in the back because they have no skills to do it. And in our strategy, in our footprint strategy, it's not a question of letting back some others. The plants must be where they have been decided to be. I don't say everything is perfect, but we need to go with our customers, close to them, and of course reduce as well our impact on the supply chain. So this is the vision that we have right now. We started in 2019 with this strategy, but bringing it down to earth. We said, okay, 7 initiatives, 7 teams that must work on this, and composed of people from all the divisions. First one, as the core one, is the DMP, but then we have technology integration. So how we integrate cameras, how do we integrate robotics? How do we integrate AGVs? All that stuff that allows us to come from a normal automation to a digitalized automation. Of course, advanced analytics integration, because we need to manage big data. Here we are a little bit late compared to others, but we want to invest together with other companies. Some of them might even be here today, and use that, or the power that comes from that and artificial intelligence, to bring and leverage much more benefits. Link goes digital. Very easy. We want clean factories, paperless factories. We want that people do not waste their time, supervisors and operators waste their time just writing Excels, writing by hand, and so on a wall, analyzing, because we're an industry where we need routines. Every morning, all teams are meeting together for 10, 15 minutes to analyze the situation of the day before, see what's going to happen that day, and then also say, we had problems here, is this solved, what are the... Okay, all that information should be coming automatically to the guys. We cannot waste any more time saying, okay, write that down, bring that, print it, put in tons of papers for that. Some of the use cases we are developing here are just paid by not using paper and ink anymore. As simple as it can look, but it's like that. We have also the digital twin. Of course, this is a big fish here. The digital twin to reduce ramp-up cost, to do that, the preparation of a plan for a launch in a digital way. Very interesting, and really saving money. What are we still needing to do now? To match that together with the digital twin of the R&D, so that they give us the product digitalized with a certain data model that we are defining with them, and then the manufacturing digital twin will help us to reduce all those costs. And of course, integrating the 80 plus manufacturing systems that I told you about before. Finally, the most complex one, the end-to-end supply chain integration, because it's not only, we're not talking only about managing the plant, but we're also talking about managing suppliers and customers, integrating commissioning, integrating the transportation, inbound, outbound logistics, and so on. And of course, trying to manage our inventories, which is one of the hard points right now, due to the instability of the supply chain. Sometimes you find yourself with too many parts, with too much working capital, which is not working at all. And in this one, we've been also cooperating with Microsoft to develop our own data model that is allowing us to connect with many others inside and outside. So we want to come from something in this digital transformation, something that is local, to something that must be also global. So locally to globally, or as I call it, also glocally. You need to keep it in the local, in your plant, because you need to customize things to your plant, but you also need that it belongs to the rest of the people, that anyone can work with what you have developed. So we go from the local systems, specific plants, and data inconsistency to what you see, the opposite, global systems, common plant solutions, and consistent data based on what you see here. The product strategy. We need to work with what we call now the product teams. This is another topic, additional topic. Not only having skills on your plants, but also, as well, having skills in the corporate, IT and OT working together. Models that fit, operating models that fit to the plants, but operating models that fit also to the corporate to develop what I was saying before, solve common problems. Usually now, every 3 months, we meet together, all the industrial directors, and we say, okay, what are our needs in the next 3-4 months? These ones, we are together with those teams and telling them these are our priorities, and we want to achieve this and this and this. So basically OKRs, objectives and key results. And we are following that in a weekly mode. So agile, working together, working fast, and trying to get exactly what we need. Step by step, yeah. Don't run. Do it. There is no need to run, because when we started running, we failed. And it's not even just a recommendation, it's a conclusion from our own experience. You will need a long time to do it. So you'd better go step by step. And enablement, yeah. Just give the plants the choice of having their own ideas. You cannot stop them because they have their own necessity each. And once it's done, then try to apply for the solving the problems, because you will find that most of them have the same ones. Just showing there one of the topics that we are trying to manage now, OEE, so overall equipment efficiency, bring transparency to all of our plants, and then reduce what we call the COFACO, the controllable factory cost, using this part. Because you know why? We need 2 things in our plants. We need brains and we need hearts. With the heart, you are going to believe that digitalization is the new tool for you. And with your brain, you're going to use your brain to develop the applications first, and then analyzing what data are telling you. A mistake that is commonly made is, okay, we bring you the application, whatever, and then everything is solved. No, nothing is solved. You just have a part of it. You need the second step, which is working on what the application is telling you. And this has also been one of the big problems. We said before that we needed to convince the top management to do those investments, but you also need to convince your people to work with those investments. You also need to convince them that they need to change, that if we do the things, as I said before, the same way, we will have the same results, and that's what we do not want. We want to have and achieve different results. And they are really resilient. For some other things, they are quick to move, but for this, they are really resilient. Why should I move? And this is the question that you need to answer to them, and it's not easy. It's not easy because there will be a lot of frustration at first. When we came out with the first release of our digital manufacturing platform, end of summer 2020, the pilot plant, we started with just one plant, and we started with one plant that needed to be helped. So it was not the best that we had, and we were not going to get any benefit. No, it was clear that they could get benefits. And it took them 6 months to start working with the manufacturing platform. 6 months. And they had already, we put all skills for connectivity and so on in that plan. I was clear. So there was no problem from that point of view. The problem were coming just from their minds. They didn't want to change because they were thinking they had better systems and that they had put a lot of money in the past and now they were going to use a different one. But come on, guys, we've been working with you for 12 months to develop this. Now you need to use it. I know it's frustrating, but go ahead. It's not difficult. I don't know if anyone, well, we all use applications just for our presentations, for calculations and so on, and sometimes it's really complex to start with. But if we don't start with it, we will never do it. So this is a fundamental and crucial point. This was the story. 2019, we started to think, our strategy, as I said before. 2020, we decided to go together with Microsoft and PwC in this journey. And then we said, okay, 10 months will be enough, 9-10 months will be enough to develop the basic functionalities, like I was saying, the factory cockpit, condition monitoring, and so on. And we launched the DPM in October 2020, September 2020. And we started with all these problems. But we couldn't stop there. We said, it's too slow. We have 250 plants to onboard. If we take 6 months with each plant, it's going to be crazy. We will finish only in 2050. We need to finish earlier. We need to go that 2026, 2027, we are completely digitalized, completely connected to the DMP. So we put some other plans. Hopefully, the fact of bringing some others also helped everyone to develop, because the others were also finding problems and troubles and solving them together with us. What can I say from this development? A real success for 3 companies working together. And these 3 companies for us was like one team. I remember it very well in all the steering committees from this project, that nobody was talking about their own company. I did not even know to which company the guys talking to me belonged to. And people have developed this during the pandemics, never met together in the 10 months, never, not one single time. Usually when you go in the automotive industry and you go for a new project, you go to the plant and you see these offices, areas where everybody is in there. And before these areas are not created, oh, come on, we cannot work. Yeah, you can. We've done it. Virtually, people from Seattle, Detroit, Germany, 3 different locations, working all together to bring this alive in the time they said they would do it. So, fast and fully virtual collaboration with one joint target and full commitment. So these are also prerequisites. I mean, the virtual prerequisite, maybe it's not now necessary anymore, or not always, but it can be done. If you need to save money, it can be done. Well, just to repeat it again, and I repeat it very, very often because it's absolutely necessary and crucial, is the step-by-step, enrich what you have, and then replace it. Replace it by the digitalized version, harmonize, standardized processes, and so on. These need to be there at first, and then to continue with common solutions for everyone. And co-development, so it's not just a question of one plant. You need to bring people from different plants where you imagine, like in our case, they're going to have the same needs. Let's put all them together. So everyone wants to go alone. This is human nature. We will do it, and then we will be best. But it's not about that. It's about the whole company going on. Agile, the efficiency backbone. I call it the efficiency backbone what happens usually in the plants. You don't need to forget that you are still working every day until you're able to develop new use cases and so on. So continue doing your automation projects, continue doing your Kaizen, your continuous improvement. Don't forget it. And mix together with the agile systems that we are developing, IT, OT, then we will arrive to the best of the dual operating model. Challenges, you can read them through. We need the new technologies, of course, but then we need new skills. This is important. The point I was mentioning about the frustration, so this is iterative approach. You implement, you develop, you implement, then you find the problem and you come back. And this needs to be understood by people. An organizational model to support this, so we have worked this in parallel, and now we have IT, OT teams in each of our plants, but also incorporate. We have developed the product team, so each use case, each application, we consider it as a product. And so we have a product owner, we have interfaces with the plants to work together, which is really helping a lot. And finally, of course, the funding. We need money. This is not cheap. And we need to convince our top management first to put that money there and say, wait, it's not going to be less than 1 year or less than 2 years payback. It's going to take some time. This is also the other requisites that we have. So this is like an iceberg. You are only going to see, and hopefully it must be like that, you are going to see what's outside, the applications, the dashboards, the results, which is good, because this is what you want your plans to see, this is what your plans to be based on and to work on. But underneath all that, you need the functionalities, basic functionalities given to you by the digital manufacturing platform. These are the things we've been working on, those functionalities that you can see there. Order management, parts traceability, worker instructions, which are very interesting because they help to avoid quality problems. KPIs, calculation, dashboarding, analysis, and so on, so on, so on, and even all the part of the edge, which is like the connectivity, protocols, computer vision, and so on. Again, to mention the investments that we need. Just to finish, how did we change the way we were going to implement things? We started by a pilot plant, carefully chosen, because we were going to get benefits in a quick way due to the condition of the plant. We did our joint approach. We chose a second plant. This first plant, the pilot plant, just to mention, it was a small one, medium size, 600 people, 700 people. And then we went to a big one, 8,000 people. That was a second pilot. Of course, we could not do everything in the big one at the same time, it's too much. So we chose some lines where we were having problems, and we were estimating also that we would get a good benefit quite quickly. And then after that, we say, okay, let's take the early adopter model. Each of our divisions, each division is P&L accountable, so each of them, and each of our regions must come with a plant so that knowledge is quickly exchanged amongst each other. And at the end of that period, that took us whole last year, whole 2022, we have now 10 plants onboarded. Onboarded meaning we are able to work with the digital manufacturing platform because we are connected and because we know how to do it. 2023 is bringing the fast followers, 48 plants. But you know, our top management is never happy. That's never enough. 48 is too slow. We want more. Okay, let's think, what can we do? And so we have decided also to provide some applications and use cases that do not need at first connectivity to the machines, because why are we going slow? Because we don't have one of those prerequisites, which is the IT security. We don't want to be exposed anymore. So we will be able to develop or roll out our DMP into many more plants this year, up to 100, and not only 48, up to 100, but some of them will not have the connectivity to the machines. But there will be one great benefit for it, is developing trust in the system, developing trust in the digital manufacturing platform, getting used to it. If we wait until everyone is able to connect in a protected way, then, as I said before, we will never finish. Absolutely not in the times that we want to finish. Absolutely not before 2030. This is our story. This is where we are right now, changing the company. And I can tell you where the people start to use this manufacturing platform. We are being successful. Are we bringing those numbers that vendors and hyperscalers and everyone is, and consultants are saying, 20% and so on? No, but we are helping to keep our 5, 6, 7%, which is already very good. And we are able to do that in the year. So transforming, changing from routinary work and development of improvement to something that is a more, let's say, interesting and quicker way, thanks to the use cases. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for being here.